Italy, Europe, June 22, 2025. The storms that are hitting the north of Piedmont are starting to get serious, as expected by the weather forecast. In fact, in the Alto Piemonte, an intense storm system is bringing torrential rains between Val Sesia and Verbano and hail of 2 to 3 centimeters in diameter. In Val Sesia, the first inconveniences are already being recorded, with trees falling on the road on the Viella di Ponente road. Another violent hailstorm, with stones up to 3 to 4 centimeters in diameter, hit prey in the Biella area, where a storm hit with very strong gusts of wind, as shown by the images accompanying the article. A very severe downburst and medium-large hail was also recorded in Lessona. Hail has caused damage to crops, sheds and temporary structures in the Biella area, particularly in the Cassate area. It seems to have snowed in Arenzano. Damage was reported at Spallina, where the Birra, Fatigue, Rock and Roll motorcycle rally is taking place, and some gazebos were torn down by the wind. As for agriculture, damage was reported to vines which, at this stage of the year, risk compromising part of the harvest. Fear and amazement in the late afternoon along the Riviera di Ponente, where a sudden and violent hailstorm hit the Arenzano area, west of Genoa, with ice grains of extraordinary size, comparable to real apricots. The phenomenon occurred during the transit of a very active storm cell that involved the Ligurian coast between Valtri, Cogalito and Arenzano. The violence of the hail pushed many motorists to immediately seek shelter, some of whom took refuge inside the highway tunnels, stopping to avoid serious damage to their vehicles. The video shot in Arenzano has already gone viral on social media, where you can see the hailstones forcefully hitting the roadway and the car bodies, accompanied by a deafening noise. Some windshields were shattered, while roofs and hoods suffered visible dents. The situation in some residential areas is also critical. Flooding was reported in several cellars between Via Pagetta and Via Maffei. The rain, which fell heavily throughout the Biella area, is putting the sewer system under stress. Several requests for intervention to the fire department also in Biella and in the mountain villages. Critical situation between Biella, Cassato and neighboring villages. In Cassato, the roof of the Leonardo da Vinci Middle School was blown off by the wind.
네. 네, 사과.
Numerous floods were also recorded in the city, including that of the lower part of the municipal theater and several garages. In the capital, the road that connects the hamlets of Barazetto and Vandorno was closed to traffic after 2 large trees fell, which also severed overhead electrical cables, causing disruptions and a risk to public safety. The fire department, local police and technicians from the municipality intervened on site. Traffic is currently diverted to alternative routes, and the area remains closed until it is removed and made safe. In the Cassates area, bad weather has caused serious flooding. In several homes, water has reached over 60 centimeters, with the level still rising. The fire department is operational to assist families and limit the damage. Trees have fallen along the streets. One even fell on the headquarters of the Pro Loco of Prey, damaging the roof. A dramatic temperature drop in Biella, which went from a maximum of plus 29 degrees Celsius to plus 17 degrees Celsius, due to the arrival of fresh air, responsible for the ongoing storm. The bad weather was particularly violent in the province of Turin. In the Pinerolo area, streams and small torrents overflowed between Roletto and Frasasco. Very strong hailstorms hit Pinerolo Canavese. A violent storm also hit the Chivassisi Hills, causing considerable disruption to road traffic and requiring the prompt intervention of law enforcement and rescuers. The most critical situation was along the Strada Statale 590, particularly in the Delfino area. Here, several trees fell onto the roadway in the direction of Loriano, making it difficult for vehicles to pass and creating dangers for motorists. Further problems were reported in the stretch between Cavagnolo and Brusasco, where some barriers ended up in the middle of the road. Some waste bins were also overturned. The fire brigade went to the site to remove the obstacles and secure the affected areas. In support of the operations, the Carabinieri also intervened to manage traffic and ensure the safety of citizens. The bad weather also reached Turin, bringing rain and strong gusts of wind. In central Turin, the temperature dropped to plus 21 degrees Celsius after a maximum of plus 30 degrees Celsius. Severe storms, accompanied by wind and hail, affected the province of Alessandria. Among the areas most affected was Casale, where trees and poles fell. Flooding and power cuts were also reported. In Casale, wind gusts reached 85 kilometers per hour. The mayor of Casale Monferrato, Emanuele Capra, reassured people about the prompt intervention of the fire department and civil protection. Critical issues and inconveniences were also recorded in the Cristo district of Alessandria, starting with the Centro Incontro, which was partially flooded. The scheduled Notte Bianca was cancelled. Numerous calls were made to the provincial firefighters' operations room. From a rainfall point of view, so far 34 millimeters have fallen in Pizzanco, 26 millimeters in Sambaghetto, 24 millimeters in Varallo Sabbia, 18 millimeters in Anzino, Fomarco, 16 millimeters in Trascra, 11 millimeters in Domodossola, 10 millimeters in Formazza.
se deschide. E un uno sbloccato.